Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the first episode of the Waynesburg Dynasty Fantasy Football Podcast. This is your host, Pizzeria PDZ. That's PEETEEZEE. Very happy to have with me this year's champion, Jonathan Ryan Hunsberger. How you doing, Huns?
It's going well, buddy. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, got to have the champ on the first episode here. Might be a little bit of a surprise, but actually going to talk positively about your team. Let you showcase kind of how you built your squad. Don't give up your secrets, but just gloat a little bit about, how you built this championship team. I think you got a nice build, all three phases: free agents, startup draft, and trade acquisitions. So yeah, we're gonna let you have your flowers, as the kids say.
I appreciate it. I mean, I heard a lot of shit during the whole draft, so it's kind of nice to see that like some people actually see what I was doing. I mean, it turned out that I knew what I was doing. So like Snyder and Meatball, especially Meatball, can all kiss my ass.
Couldn't agree more. So starting out here, quarterback Brady, obviously a nice pick. Not many people were drafting him. He's pushed way down in the rankings because of dynasty and obviously being old. But I love that pick. Going back in history here, you got him first pick of the 11th round. I think that's a
Yeah,
pretty
did
nice
you see
steal.
how many quarterbacks were picked before him?
Oh, I can only imagine. It had to be 15, maybe even 20. Honestly, there were
It was
people.
at least 14,
Yeah, people were flying off the board.
and that was my first QB I took, and I think it might have been the only QB I took. Maybe I took another one towards the end, but it was probably Daniel Jones.
Tyler's favorite. Yeah, I mean, not too much to go there. Just really a smart pick. Did you have something like that planned? Was it specifically Brady or just one of these older guys in a later round going into the draft?
So I 100% wanted Brady, but I also wanted a younger quarterback earlier. But this whole draft, everyone reached on younger guys, and I was stuck drafting people who thought were older because they've been in the league longer. I mean, my team is old, but I also didn't have faith in our commissioner to be able to run the league past 1 or 2 years. So that's why I kind of went for the win the first couple of years.
Why wait, right? Why wait?
Right. So now I'm positive, you know.
You never know with that commish.
Oh, he's fucking ticking time bomb. Complete wild card.
All right, so moving on to the running backs here. First running back you had in your starting lineup was Joey Mixon. Nice 25-year-old, big year for the Bengals. I think pick 212. I might have been talking a little bit of shit on that pick. I mean, pick 24, not super high, but Joe Mixon was really disappointing before this year.
He was. I mean, everyone talks shit on almost all my draft picks. But honestly, I mean, I had him in the other league too. Like I was high on Mixon this year. I really was. Um, I don't know. I just think he's a good running back. Yes, he's injury prone, whatever. I mean, I know that's Travis favorite saying is like he's never going to finish the whole year. Like screw it, whatever. He did for the most part. I think he might have missed one game, maybe two, but he's a stud on a good and upcoming offense.
Yeah, I got here. He didn't miss any games. Maybe left early, but he's got points in every game. And you got a nice stretch here. Week 8, 9, by week 10, and then 11, 12 heading into the playoffs. 23, 25, 27, 33. And then a big 28 points in week 16, helping you out big time there in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm big on running backs, guy. I mean, just going back from our other league with most of these guys, like running backs are hard to get. To being able to have, I mean, drafting CMC in the first round and then going back with a running back, I'll take it all day.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we could bring up right now is that you won it all with CMC. Obviously not playing. So who knows what kind of damage your team would have been doing if he was in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could have been high points. I think I missed it by, 5 points or something like that, maybe 10
Yeah,
points to you.
yeah, I squeaked
But,
it out by 5.
I mean, it happens. You know the risk picking CMC. I was just glad I was able to get the handcuff eventually.
Yeah, good move there as well. So then next running back you had on your squad was Alvin Kamara, who you traded for. Nice trade there. Tyler was tanking. So you were able to pick up Kamara and a 2022 third round pick, and you gave away Michael Gallup and first round pick this year, first round pick in 2023. So I think that's pretty standard trade package for somebody like Kamara. 2 first round picks.
Yeah, so, I mean, he was on the trade block for a little bit. So, like a couple days here and there, and I was like, fuck it, like, I might as well ask Ty what he wants for him. So, it literally took me and Ty probably all of 3 hours and probably, like, going back, like, 5 text messages to come up with the deal. Like, once I was close, like, I knew getting one more stud running back, because CMC was hurt.
Right.
It would help me. So, went all in.
Yeah, I think that's smart. It's like whenever you're making those moves, like, yeah, sure, be nice. Would have been nice to hold on to Gallup, but he wasn't doing anything for you last year with the injury. And
Right.
if you look at it, really, Tyler drafted Kamara with a 6 overall pick. And you picked him up for 2 first round picks. I mean, 6 overall guy in a dynasty. I mean, that might even still be good value for you. So yeah, I like the move.
He fits in right with my team, like the little bit of an aging running backs team going on I got.
Yeah, not over the hill. Couple more years, not spring
Right,
chickens.
but not
It's
much
like,
more over probably 2 or 3 years, I would think.
yeah,
I would
exactly.
hope. I hope longer, but I doubt it.
Then moving on into the wide receivers. Pick of the draft, pick of everybody's draft this year. Cooper Kupp, pick 501. Obviously, that was just absolutely huge. 400 fantasy points based on our half PPR scoring league.
There it is, right there. The MVP on my team, huh? I know Dave Kane's jealous. He probably has a shrine of him up in his room right now next to Derrick Henry. Surprising enough, though, he hasn't hit me up with a trade offer yet. I mean, he's probably still playing with himself over his team he thinks is good, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm interested to have Dave on the pod. Actually, his team maybe is not in the top 4, but as far as like youth, young and up and coming teams, he may be number 1 or number 2. I mean, you go down the lineup with him. I mean, he's got Justin Jefferson. We won't get all the way into it, but he's got a bunch of guys like 21, 22, 23, all nice up and coming guys. So.
Yeah,
I,
he's
I do
definitely one
like
of the
this.
guys that was taking all the young guys super early. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's probably going to pay out for him eventually. But that's just a wild card. Lets the league going that long.
Oh yeah, this league's going. Don't you worry. Not a lot to say about Cup. Just an absolute monster. Next guy, I know you'll like talking about this guy because I think you made a pretty good move to get T. Higgins here. Just when I mean he had absolutely bottom value, I guess, but yeah, you get T. Higgins and you get your CMC handcuff in Chuba Hubbard, giving up only Van Jefferson and Michael Carter. I guess Michael Carter was having an okay season to that point, but I mean, he's a Jets running back, right?
Right. I mean, I thought I truthfully wanted to keep Michael Carter, but I don't know. I don't need him. That I had those 3 running backs right now, so I just figured I could part with them. And I mean, I'm high on T Higgins. Travis thinks I'm crazy that he's only had good games since he's been on my team. And it's really only like probably 2 or 3 good games he had. But without him, I don't make a championship. And now that I have Calvin Ridley too, still, like he's starting every week for me.
Yeah, I forgot about Ridley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I went through a lot this season, and I still got it.
Yep. I got to give you credit for that. You made this trade November 17th. So it doesn't show me the dates here, but I think that was a couple weeks before. So like week 12, 23, week 13, 27, 16, 3.3, then that 40-point week in the playoff semifinals, which was obviously
I'm pretty sure he burned Travis twice.
Yeah, that's right. You were playing Travis, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got him twice. Both big games I think were against Trav. So fantastic.
Love it when that works out. And still just 23 years old. You know, that's a great quality guy to have on your roster going forward.
Yeah, I mean he's not the number 1 on the team, but with Jamar Chase there, he's not going to get double covered, and he's huge.
Yeah, he might even have a better year next year. Wide receiver
Hopefully.
17 standard, wide receiver 24 PPR, and he missed a couple games. That's just a nice quality player to have. Next wide receiver in your starting lineup, your wide receiver 3 was Courtland Sutton. Not the best guy. How'd you pick him up?
I don't know. Did I pick him up off waivers or did I draft him?
No, as he was drafted here, 12th pick of the 6th round.
There you go. Courtland Sutton. I mean, I don't know if many of you guys know this, but I am a Broncos fan if I wasn't from Philly. So like my 2 favorite teams growing up were Eagles and Broncos. So I always try to get a Bronco on my team. Like in our early league, did I get Judy? I don't know. I really wanted Judy. I think I got him, but I'm not positive. But I always try to get a Bronco too. Like it's just, and I go for like the tall wide receivers because Teddy Bridgewater sucks, Drew Lock sucks. So if they're a little taller, bigger box to throw to, I just think he's gonna be all right. But this league is deep at wide receiver, or thin at wide receiver, I should say. Starting 3 of them and then 2 flex. Like I had shit almost all year in wide receiver. So like I had to make a bunch of moves because I didn't have Calvin Ridley. So that was like my fear, or not really fear, but that was like my weak point of my team was that, and definitely my tight end.
Yeah, I mean he's somebody that really didn't help carry you to win it this year, but certainly now has a pretty solid outlook with Rusty Wilson heading there.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't have him anymore. I shipped off the hardware.
That's right. Yeah, probably a good move.
I mean, I'll take that for me. Courtland Sutton and Harris or Watson.
Yeah.
Especially when Tom Brady was retired.
Yeah, I love Watson. I was bummed that you got him.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are.
He's so good. Yeah, tight end, like you mentioned. Well, back to the Broncos thing, though. So you're a Broncos fan. That's your second team. I mean, that start from your dad, or how'd that start?
Honestly, I don't know. I've always been a Broncos fan. I remember watching. I think it was one of the Super Bowls. It was Broncos versus Falcons, and ever since then, I love the Broncos.
Yeah,
Terrell Davis, Ed McCaffrey. Ed McCaffrey was my favorite wide receiver growing up. And then you got Shannon Sharp, like all those guys that just turned me into a Broncos fan.
Yeah, McCaffrey was sweet. That guy was awesome.
Like I have an Eric Decker signed jersey, I think, in my house right now. So big Broncos fan.
Nice. All right, moving on then to the tight end, like you mentioned, kind of a weak tight end. You had Foster Moreau starting in the championship. Not too much to write home about there, but Waller was out, right? Worth a shot.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I was high on Troutman coming in, and this is going to be Trav's time to poke at me because I drafted him in both leagues. I'm still kind of high on him, but like he did suck this year. So I think last year I might have 3 tight ends on my team, and this year I think I have 4 or 5. And then me and Ty keep talking about maybe getting a tight end. I talked to Darren about getting a tight end. Like, I'm asking a lot of people for tight ends because my team sucks. I mean, not my team, but my tight end sucks. So that's where I'm trying to get better at right now. So if anyone has a tight end they're willing to trade me, send them my way.
I mean, Troutman's got some upside, right? It didn't happen for him this year, but he had some QB issues down there. You never know what happens. It was only his second year in the league, it looks like. So third year breakout maybe with Jameis back, huh?
Hopefully. I mean, he had 2 or 3 good games. I think 2 games in a row, then he got hurt. So I hope he can pick up where he left off. But I mean, I don't know at this point. I'm holding him. I mean, I have 3 young tight ends on my team, so one of them's got to pan out eventually, I would think.
That's the fun part about Dynasty. Like, sometimes in redraft, I do this too. Like, I get really excited about a guy and I draft him like a little early or whatever. And then it's like, it just is like he was a rookie, or like, he just was never going to overtake whoever the starter was unless they got hurt. And then the next year he blows up because they trade that guy, or he was a free agent or whatever. And you were just like a year early. But in Dynasty, it's like, okay, see what the next season outlook is like, and maybe that's when he hits. Or you put him on the taxi squad, and maybe it's the next year.
Yeah, now that I know what the taxi squad is, like, I'm definitely doing that. But yeah, so all in the other leagues, like, hey, you talk about the other league all the time, but I mean, it's probably more competitive because I've only won that league once, and I won this league the first time it was in there. So not a good start for the whole league itself, but I've always been the one to draft wide receivers super early and a year too early. Let's just hope it's just a tight end for me in this league, So hopefully next year Troutman's my man.
There you go. There you go. All right, moving into the double flex, next to the 2 flex starters. Yeah, Damian Harrison there, who's pretty solid starter all year round for you. I know you mentioned you traded him, but he was picked 701. So, I mean, kind of like looking back, I mean, I think he was probably a mid-round guy, but and just another draft pick that you hit on. I mean, I don't even want to go through my draft because my draft was terrible, and you seem to be hitting on like almost all your picks, especially some of the later round guys.
I mean, I'm hitting on for this year, maybe next year, but I mean, like I said earlier, everyone reached for young players, and it was crazy to see. Like, I'm sitting there, I had a couple people cross, I had circled, I had a printout paper, and someone reached in the 3rd round for this guy that I thought would go in the 9th round. So I figured people would want to try to win this year, but I mean, looking at people's drafts, other people were actually playing for a long haul, and I'm just an idiot. We'll find out, I guess, in a couple of years. But I don't know. I just felt like so many people reached consistently.
Yeah, I saw that too, but I wasn't able to scoop up the value like you. I don't know if I just am dumb, or I was making dumb picks or panicking. Um, but yeah, I saw the same thing, and I'm with you. I want to try to win now. You can always trade. You can always trade for youth, or if it doesn't work out. I was actually 0-2, and one of the trades I made was rebuilding. I thought I was done, and then I just started winning games each week. And the team started taking off and kind of fell into place. So kind of lucked out from that standpoint. But yeah, I agree.
Who'd you trade with, Fred?
No, that would have been too nice, right? I mean, geez.
Yeah.
If you're trading with Red, your team's going like you're jumping 2, 3, 4 positions in the rankings with whatever trade you just made.
I don't know how you guys keep doing it to him. When I send him a deal, he always counters me with something else, and the last I just traded him for who? Who did I get? Moore? I asked him for 2 players. I think it was Landry and Moore. And he countered me with Moore. I was like, whatever, I'll take it. But I still feel like I overpaid for Moore. But I don't know. He's better than Will Fuller, I guess.
We'll get to that. So I think with Red, I'm not sure how some of the guys are doing it. We did have the one trade there, me and him. I'm not sure what he was thinking. I think that it just really wasn't a fair trade to pass through. Only one thus far. But yeah, a couple guys, couple questionable trades by Red.
For sure.
So anyways, filling out your last flex in the championship was Sexy Rexy Burkhead, who
I
of
forgot
course
that.
you added from waivers, $0. So I mean, he ended up being the starter there, putting up some points. He had a couple good games. Only looks like a 30-point explosion in the semis, but only 10.9 in the finals. But hey, 10.9 from your last flex isn't that bad. That's actually not bad. He outscored fucking CD Lamb for me by 4
There you
points.
go. See? I mean, Sexy Rex, white running backs. And that's a crazy thing. I beat Trav with his own little medicine right there.
With Sexy
Higgins and
Rexy.
then Sexy Rexy.
Yeah, so I mean, we could go through the bench guys. There's not a lot to write home about here. I mean, you had picked up Justin Jackson, who was huge for you in the semifinals when Eckler was out. Obviously, not too much in the championship when he came back, but that's a 30-point performance there in the semis, and you got him for $5 off waivers December 21st. So that was another good move as far as free agent pickups.
I appreciate that, Ryan. Or Petey Zaria, whatever I was supposed to call you. But I think there was only one person more active than me last year, and I think that was Trav. I think, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But
I didn't have a lot of pickups, but I spent all my money. Some people weren't even spending all their money. They still had all their money left.
I make a ton of moves every year in every league. I try to be active. I mean, there's 3 ways you can build your team through the draft, right? Feel like I did well there. Trading, I made a couple good trades, and then the rest were all waiver wire pickups. So I tried. I put a lot of effort into this league just so I could talk shit. Be the first one to talk shit, and it worked out.
Yeah, first season, first winner. You can't. Nobody could talk shit on you after that.
But you still can.
Well, yeah, I guess. But again, I mean, you got Brady was a nice draft pick. Mixon was probably a standard draft pick. Then the big trade with Kamara, Kupp being a great draft pick, Higgins being a nice trade. Sutton was just kind of a starter for you. Tight end, not much to write home about, but Damian Harris, good draft pick. Burkhead picked up off waivers. Justin Jackson picked up off waivers, putting up 30 in the semis. So yeah, I think just message to the league, right? Got to try to build that team through all 3 phases, especially in the off season here. So we don't have the startup draft anymore. You got to even more reason why you got to make trades, got to look to maneuver, who's going to get drafted where, try to move up in the draft, maybe move down in the draft, build some more depth if you need it, trade away some pieces. Lots of different ways to try to build a championship roster.
Yeah, I'm really surprised I got that far, to be honest, just because of not having CMC and Ridley, and then I had no depth. So if I had one other injury, I was done. And the whole time, I wanted to get more depth, but I just couldn't. Some of the people in this league, their fucking valuations are ridiculous. Between Meatball, you just, that's why I'm bald. I pulled all my hair out.
I have actual good values on players. I just don't like to make the first trade offer of what I think the even value is. Like to see if I can get something a little bit better in my favor.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes you gotta just walk away, and that's what I feel like I do with the Hesta League. I feel like I've only been trading with Trav and Ty right now, and I tried to trade with Neil. We had a couple good deals back and forth, but it just wasn't the right time for me.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's another part of it too. You know, sometimes it might be a good trade or a fair trade, but it's just you end up just not making the move because you want to keep another guy or you think he might go up another level, and maybe you don't need to make the trade, right? So you just sit tight and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean sometimes no move's the best move. That's for sure. Some of these guys need to learn that too.
All right, John. Well, stay on the line here, but we'll end this podcast. But before we do, I wanted to give a special shout out to your dad. Happy birthday, Mr. Hunsberger. Is it today or this weekend?
It was on, I think, Monday.
Oh, we missed it. We're late. He's gonna be
I
mad.
know, but we're having a surprise party on Saturday, so I'll show him this little clip of your little goofy little face over there. I'm just glad we got you away from the beach this time and in front of the Waynesburg jersey.
Check that out.
So then I'll tell him to ignore the whole episode 1 thing when it's like episode 3 or 4.
Got the Ryan Huns signature.
You know he'll
right
make
there.
fun of you for that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But that would be like, did Waynesburg not teach you guys how to count?
Come on, I had to have the champ on for episode 1.